Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to It's Time to Get Your You Know What Together. Today, we have a special guest, and we'll be talking about elder law. But let me tell you a little bit about our program and introduce our guest speaker and all our terms and conditions here, okay? So I'm Bianca Moreras. I'll be your host and moderator, and we are going to talk about everything in this program every month on the third Friday of every month that has to do with estate planning, probate administration, and everything in between. And we're so excited today to have our guest speaker, and she's amazing. A little housekeeping, please stay on mute while you're on the program. If you have a question, please put it in the chat. We're happy to answer any of your questions. We won't mention your name to keep you, private and anonymous. Or you could raise your hand. We're happy to have you speak with us about anything that's on your mind. Today, we have a wonderful guest, Bobbi Meloro, and she is with Meloro Law. She specializes in helping seniors and those with special needs protect their assets and qualify for Medicaid when their need is there for long-term care. She has 5-star reviews, which is awesome, and many happy clients. She has won lots of awards and accolades over the years. Bobbi is a member of the National and State Association of Elder Law Attorneys and a member and graduate of Elder Law College. She has over 22 years experience as a lawyer and is extremely active in the legal and the local community, serving for decades as a volunteer with her church and a Girl Scout leader. She spends her free time with her husband of 28 years, and she has 3 lovely children ranging from 23 to 13. And of course, she takes care of her parents, who are both 85 years old. Welcome, Bobbi.
Thank you so much, Bianca, for that warm introduction. Samantha, thank you for having me, and great to see so many people joining us today. I see lots of familiar faces. That's awesome. Samantha, If you'd like to say a few words.
Yeah, we are so excited to have you. This is the second time we've had Bobbi on. Bobbi is a friend and colleague, and she is we don't like to use the term expert in our legal field, but she is really very well versed in this area. It's so important to understand because there are resources out there: nursing home, assisted living facility, in-home care. This is all really expensive and can be very stressful on both the children and the person needing the care. Even if they have some resources, you can be quickly drained from all of those. So Bobbi is here today to give us some basic info. She's going to cover a lot, but it can get very complicated. So I want anybody to feel free to reach out to Bobbi afterwards. She'll post her. Please put your email in the chat box up there. And if you're not sure how to get in touch with her, feel free to circle back to either me or Bianca for Bobbi's info. Elder law area goes hand in hand with what we do here. Our firm is strictly focused on estate planning and probate and trust administration. So one of our kind of slogans is plan ahead before you're dead. We do the document planning, and then we do the other side after somebody's passed away. If they have some sort of administration that's either going through court, or if they planned properly and they have assets in a trust, we do all that. But we don't do the elder law side. So we refer a lot of cases over to Bobbi, and she does a fantastic job. She's really, really good at this stuff. So we are so excited to have her here, and we will be recording this and blurring out everybody's faces. So if you have to run out or you have a friend that missed it, we will post it to our YouTube channel, which is at the top right side of our website. You can see this Zoominar as well as all of our past Zoominars up there.
Okay. Well, thank you, Samantha, for introducing yourself. But I want to add that you also you hold your CPA and that you have been in business for over 20 years, and you're just so very helpful. And both of you make such a great combination for anyone that's going through this planning process. I'm a business coach and consultant, and I'm just happy to be here with you all. So some of the questions we're going to ask are routine questions that Bobbi has come across in all these years. So we're going to go through this, but I'm sure something will spark something within you to participate. So Bobbi, let's get started. Doesn't Medicare help with nursing home costs?
So no, that's a big misconception. There's a huge difference between Medicare and Medicaid. Medicare is your health insurance for people who are over 65 that you're permitted to enroll in. It covers things like hospital stays and doctor's visits and prescriptions. It does not cover long-term care. And when I use that term, I'm thinking of a home health aide coming to the home when you need assistance with things, assisted living or nursing home care. Medicare does not cover that type of thing. So there's a separate government program called the Medicaid long-term care program that is available that many people don't know about.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that clarification. I always get mixed up. What do you mean by long-term care though? Can you clarify that?
Sure. So it could be, when people start to age and maybe have an illness or a diagnosis and they can't get around as easily as they could before. Maybe they need a walker now. Maybe they can't drive and they can't shop. They need assistance with these activities of daily living, they're called. And that could be a home health aide that comes to the home a few hours a week. And it could be more serious. It could be at the one end of the spectrum is that home health aide part-time. The other end of the spectrum is a 24/7 care in a skilled nursing facility. And then there's various things in between. So it's really just when people need a hand as they get older.
Oh, great. Thank you. What does long-term care cost?
It's so expensive, so expensive. So it can run on the low end for that part-time home health aide I was mentioning. You're looking at about $1,500 a month. Those folks cost $20 an hour. Assisted living is somewhere in the middle. The average cost, there's studies done of this, the average cost in South Florida for assisted living is $4,300 a month or so. And the average cost for this 24/7 skilled nursing care is upwards of $9,000 a month. So it's very expensive. And if you don't have a plan in place and you start to need this care and you're gonna write that check every month, you're gonna run out of money very, very quickly.
Oh my gosh. So isn't there any government assistance available?
So that's the Medicaid long-term care program and that many people don't know about it, or they know about it and they don't think they can qualify. So what we do is we take a look at, because it's based on financial need. So we'll take a look at your income and your assets. We'll let you know if you do qualify, and if you don't qualify, we know the Medicaid rules very well. And there are several tools that we can use to help you qualify sooner rather than later. What the government wants you to do is spend every last dime and then apply. But we don't think that is fair or right. And we help you get eligible a little sooner so that you have a little bit of funds set aside for those emergency situations.
Oh, wow. So are you saying, like, if my mom or dad has too much money, I can't apply for this?
If you see me, you can. if many people think that they can't apply because they have too much money, that's not the case.
Oh gosh, that is really good. That tip alone is good to know. Thank you so much. All right, so do I have to wait until I have Medicare coverage to move a mom or dad, or even myself, I guess, to a nursing home?
So you're mixing up Medicare and Medicaid, Bianca. We talked about
gosh.
that. So Medicare, we're not talking about that today, but Medicaid. So it depends. The best time, if we're talking about an assisted living setting, the best time to apply for Medicaid is before you move in. Yes. If you're talking about a nursing home, you wait until you move in. So it really varies depending on the setting. But we go through that. We go through that all in our analysis. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah. You see, I'm already mixing them up, and it's because I'm just getting there. Is that called going senile? I mean, I don't
It's
know.
a
Like,
sign one. You'll
I'm
be in
getting
my
to the
office
age.
soon, I think.
We all have to be careful. All right. I heard that Medicaid can take my parents home. Is that true?
No, not at all. Not if you plan properly. So a homestead is exempt. It's not counted as an asset for Medicaid purposes. But you also you want to do your planning ahead of time. You want to see Samantha and make sure that your homestead is protected properly. If you're the only owner on that homestead and you pass away and it has to go through probate, you've got problems. So you want to make sure you do your planning ahead of time. So long as your homestead does not go through probate, there's not going to be a Medicaid lien issue at the end of life.
Okay, well, that's good to know. But I heard that there's like a 5-year look back period. Is that true?
So sometimes Google can be a blessing and a curse. People do lots of research on their own, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. Medicaid has a rule that you can't give your money away to qualify. Okay, we qualify people using approved strategies. Gifting is not an approved strategy, so you can't just give your money to your kids and then apply for Medicaid and say you don't have any money. If you do that, there's a 5-year look back period on gifts. And so if you want to give all your money away to your kids today, then you can't apply for Medicaid until 5 years have gone by.
Okay, well, I guess that's a form of planning, but they should come to you first, Bobbi.
A lot
Right.
of times people don't have 5 years to wait, so that's not a good strategy.
That is true. We never know what tomorrow will bring.
That's
For
right. And I
sure.
always say, if I had a crystal ball, it would make my job so much easier.
Awesome. I
We
think
have a crystal ball.
Yeah, I
We
was
have
gonna
one in our
say.
conference room, but I use it
Perfect.
as a prop and I say, well, I got that on Amazon and it doesn't work. So sorry.
It doesn't work.
Hilarious. Yeah, I was gonna say that. I've seen that crystal ball. Okay, so mom and dad does not need long-term care yet. Is there anything I should be doing now to prepare in case it is needed in the future?
Sure, there's lots of things we can do to prepare. One was an example of the homestead. Do your estate planning. Make sure that you're not setting up a probate situation for later in life when you pass away. And it's always better to plan ahead than when you're in a crisis situation. Sometimes people will come in and they're by this time hemorrhaging $10,000 a month. Their mom or dad is in a nursing home, and it's too late to do some planning. The most important thing you can do today, your parents can do today, is have a good, solid, comprehensive, durable power of attorney in place. This is the most important document we use for Medicaid planning, because your parent, by the time they need Medicaid, your parent might be ill. They might lack capacity. They might not be able to sign documents. They might not be able to make their own decisions. If they don't have a durable power of attorney in place before that happens, there's not much we can do to help them. You'll
really
be faced with a guardianship situation, which is the worst case scenario. You have to go to court. You have to be appointed as a legal guardian for your parents. And then you have court oversight to deal with for the rest of their life. They're going to be watching every penny that's spent. They're going to be watching what you're doing. So the durable power of attorney, if you walk away today with not knowing one more thing, the durable power of attorney, do it now, do it today, right away.
That is great advice. I just want to share on my own experience. I just had to go through that with my Cuban husband's mother, because supposedly Cubans don't do that. They don't get the power of attorney. And we just had to go through a 3-month process for guardianship, emergency hearing, and then finally final hearing. And in the meantime, we couldn't really take care of her ourselves, and it was horrible. So yes, what Bobbi is saying, don't let that happen to you. Samantha, do you want to chime in on any of these items before we open it up to the floor? That's all the questions I have right now.
Bobbi may have some more stuff to add, but I would just say I mirror what Bobbi says, even just on the estate planning side with a younger client. I often say the durable power of attorney is one of the most important documents you can do. And it depends on your circumstances, of course. Sometimes other ones based upon your circumstances become more important. But that power of attorney, there's no replacement for that other than the court administered guardianship. And that is, as Bobbi says, a horrible, as both you say, horrible, horrible experience. It's so expensive. It's so invasive. It's so time consuming. It takes all your control away. And it's so easily avoidable with two documents, really, the healthcare as well. But the power of attorney is just even more important than the healthcare surrogate oftentimes. So important. And those get done in doing your estate planning. Sometimes, we just do those incapacity documents for somebody that doesn't really need the other documents, or they can't afford them, or they just don't want to do them. At a minimum, at least do a healthcare surrogate and a durable power of attorney. But of course, even better to do your will and a revocable trust, because revocable trusts are super important as well for avoiding probate and protecting your beneficiaries from a whole list of bad circumstances. So back to Bobbi.
Back to
The
Bobbi.
way we kind of break that up is that the way I look at it is that your durable power of attorney and your healthcare advance directives, those protect you while you're still living if you become sick. And on the other end, you have your will, your revocable trust, your deeds. Those just deal with how your stuff gets distributed after you pass away. But the critical things are if I get sick, who's going to be able to take care of me? What's going to happen? That's where your durable power of attorney and your healthcare advance directives come into play. People don't realize that they need them. Sometimes spouses think they can do things for their spouse just by virtue of the law. It's not true, unless it's a jointly owned asset. An insurance company, think of when you call an insurance company or when you call FPL or cable, if you're not the account holder, they won't talk to you. You can't sign documents. They want the account holder on the home. You can't even on the phone. You can't even talk to Comcast without a durable power of attorney. So, it's not just because you're married or because you're somebody's son or daughter. Yeah. Legally, you have no rights unless you have that written document.
And even things like real estate, even if they are jointly on, neither one can sign on behalf of the other. So if you try to refinance a mortgage or sell a property, if your spouse is incapacitated, you can't do anything without that durable power of attorney. Now you're going to court to become your spouse's court-appointed guardian, which now your joint assets are getting separated and court supervised half of them, which is horrible.
No, absolutely.
So we can talk a little bit about what the financial benefits are that are available under the Medicaid long-term care program. So if there's two types of programs for Medicaid long-term care. One program is for the people that need the 24/7 supervision in a nursing home. The other program is called the community-based program, and that's for people who either live at home or live in an assisted living. Those are treated as the same type of setting for Medicaid purposes. The application process for both programs is different, as is the financial benefit. So for the nursing home side, for the 27 skilled care side, you can apply once you're admitted and once you financially qualify. And the way the financial benefit works is Medicaid takes a look at the senior's monthly income. They'll see, what does this person get for Social Security, any pension or IRA income they might have. They take a look at their income. And they calculate a patient responsibility, which is like a copay based on that income. That's what they will owe the nursing home. So if the nursing home bill, the average bill is $9,000 a month, and the senior's income is, say, $2,000 a month, then they're now saving $7,000 a month because the nursing home is going to cost them $2,000 a month. The Medicaid long-term care program will pay the rest. So it's a significant savings in that setting. On the home care and the assisted living side, if you want to live at home and have a home health aide, or you move into an assisted living and would like some financial assistance, there's a wait list involved in that program because we have so many seniors who want it. You kind of have to get in line. We help you with the whole wait list process. We know there's an interview and a screening process that they'll do to determine how long you have to wait for benefits. We help you with all of that. But once you go through that process, you're called off the wait list. They will, if you want to live at home and have an aide, they will assess you to see how many hours of care you might need per week. It's always very low, it's just like, you have to go back and forth and try to get more hours. They usually start with 16 hours a week, and they'll send a home health aide to your home free of charge for those 16 hours a week. You can always supplement if you need to privately and try to get more hours through that program. In the assisted living context, Medicaid pays a stipend, a monthly stipend of it varies depending on the facility and the Medicaid plan you're in, approximately $1,500 a month. So it reduces your bill at the assisted living by $1,500 a month. If the assisted living costs $3,000 a month, you'll save half through the Medicaid long-term care program. And so you don't want to wait until the very last minute with those two programs because of that wait list that's involved. It will take some time to get the benefits. So you want to start sooner rather than later.
I have a question.
Wow, that's great.
Can you apply for those benefits before you're in the assisted living facility?
Yes, and you should. Actually, because the screening involves two phases. How much care does this person need? And how much care does this person get? If you're in an assisted living, you're getting care. You're not in an emergency situation, so you're going to be very low on the wait list. Much better to apply while you're still living at home. If somebody that lives home alone is going to get the highest ranking on the wait list, so much better to apply before you move into an assisted living.
Good to know.
Well, Bobbi, like with the situation my husband went through, it happened suddenly. Something occurred that made the situation terrible, and it was a matter of hours. Is there anything you can do at that point? Does that make it more of an emergency if they know to get in touch with someone like yourself?
So that happens a lot. Somebody's in perfectly good health and unexpectedly they take a fall. They fracture a hip. They have a stroke. And so, you don't have notice of those things. Again, we don't have that crystal ball that helps us. So there is still help available. And so, my advice is just to, kind of plan ahead for the unexpected uncertainties of life and get your ducks in a row now. But when you are in a crisis situation, just know to reach out for help, because there is still ways that we can help.
All right. Well, we'd like to take a moment to open this up to the floor. If you do not want to raise your hand, you could put a question in the chat. I'll be happy to read it. Or if you'd like to raise your hand or just unmute yourself, we'll be happy to take your questions. You now have two attorneys sitting in this Zoom room. You cannot get better advice more quickly. Do not be shy. This is your opportunity. So come on down.
Hi, how are you, Bobbi?
Good. Doing well.
What do you know what determines why each of these providers that pay for that long-term care stipend in an assisted living environment, why the four providers charge different rates or
That's
different
a great
stipends?
question. Yeah, it's based on contracts that they have. So there are four Medicaid long-term care plan providers in Florida. One is called Simply, one is called Florida Community Cares, one is called Humana, and so there are four different plans that you can choose from. We kind of walk you through that as well. But what you want to do is, if you're looking at a specific, we try to tell people ahead of time, if you're looking at a specific assisted living facility that you like, find out A, do they accept Medicaid? And B, if yes, what plans do they accept? And then the third question, how much does each plan pay? Because sometimes they accept more than one. If they only accept one, you have to pick that plan, and whatever it pays, it pays. But if they take two or three, which many assisted livings do, you can find out which each pays. And one might pay $1,500, one might pay $1,550, one might pay $1,575. Pick the highest paying plan.
Right.
I'm not sure how they come up with that figure, except that it's a contracted rate between the plan and the assisted living.
Generally speaking, what are the asset and the income limits to qualify?
So the income limit currently, it goes up every year. There's usually a little cost of living adjustment. Right now it's $2,523 a month. And so if you make less than that, you qualify from an income perspective. If you make more than that, we can help you qualify using something called a qualified income trust. And the asset limit is ridiculously low. It has been the same for as long as I can remember, and it's $2,000. You have more than $2,000 in the bank, you do not qualify unless you properly shelter those funds within the Medicaid rules, and we can help you with that. But so it's 2,000 in assets, and some assets don't count, like your homestead. One vehicle doesn't count. IRAs do not count. They don't count as an asset as long as you're taking your monthly RMD from them. Then it counts towards that income cap instead of as an asset. So we go through, this is why we kind of ask, okay, we go through all of your income, all the different assets. We decide which ones are countable, which aren't. And for those that are countable, let you know your options as to how you can shelter the funds in a Medicaid compliant way and be eligible.
Awesome. Rafi, you have your hand up.
Yeah, hi there. Thank you again for putting this together. I have a quick question. If we have our mother who is receiving Humana long-term care on the Medicaid program, the waiver program, and she's already received a substantial amount of hours since she requires 24-hour care. We went ahead and we filed a request to go ahead and get her additional services, additional hours for day services, because we have nighttime services through Humana. And it was recently denied, and we went ahead and we appealed it, and then it was denied again. And now we're left with no option but by switching mom from the community base to the nursing home. But we're finding that there's a wait list for the nursing homes, and that we can't find a facility that would meet her needs as well. Is there any emergency assistance or direction as to where to go, since we are unable to find any aides who would be not asking for the moon right now to be able to afford it?
I'm sorry about your situation, Rafi. It's very common. The home care, it does max out at a certain point. It's very hard to get those additional hours that you need. So oftentimes when somebody needs round the clock care, the only affordable option is a nursing home, because otherwise you're paying $20 an hour for, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and it's exorbitantly expensive. You're looking at the same cost, but you don't get the same benefit from a Medicaid perspective. So there's no wait list for nursing home benefits. What you might be thinking of is bed availability, right?
Correct. Correct.
As soon as you find a nursing home that meets your needs and would be suitable, and you can move your parent in, you can apply for Medicaid right away, and it will start that month that you apply. So the challenge is finding a facility that has a bed available. A lot of times there's wait lists that you can get on for each facility, so that you'll get a call when a bed becomes available. Availability changes by the day, so don't give up. And there are social workers that can help you, because it's very difficult to find a facility. Unless you have, it's a full-time job, touring, calling, trying to find the right one, waiting for a bed to open up. There are social workers that can help you with that. They know the facilities very well. They might have relationships with the facilities, and they can, kind of find a bed. That's what it comes down to, find a bed.
Right, because that's what we're finding right now, that we're unable to find any beds available, or let alone one that would not expose her to COVID, since we've been able to keep her safe and protected for that whole time. But we're just finding with this exuberant amount of cost for aides, we can't do that. So I know you mentioned the monthly stipend. Is that something that we can get assistance right now while we're waiting for a bed, or?
So the stipend applies for assisted living. It's home care. They approve that number of hours, and they send the aide for the approved number of hours. That's it for home care. If they're in assisted living, there's the stipend.
Got it. Okay. So since she qualifies for total care, assistance is out, and it's only the nursing home is the option, or staying at a home. Is there a social worker I'd be able to speak to kind of, because again, we've been told, and I don't know if this is accurate, that if we admit her into a hospital, that they would be able to find her into a nursing home much quicker, because they get more money from the hospital.
I don't know about I don't know about the money side, but that's the typical scenario that I see. Somebody has a fall, a stroke, they go to the hospital, and then they can't go back home. So the hospital will help you find a skilled nursing facility, a nursing home, and they'll discharge the person directly to the nursing home. And then you can apply for Medicaid from there. That's a very common scenario. I don't know about I don't think there's really no legally, there's no compensation that somebody can get for discharging someone to a nursing home. So I don't think it's a monetary thing. I just think it's based on relationships. The hospitals have a full-time social worker that works there that helps you find a placement.
Got it. So is there a number for social workers I can reach out to go ahead and get assistance as to where to go and what to do? 'Cause I feel like we're just keep hitting roadblocks of.
Yeah,
I
I put my
Yeah.
email and my phone number in the chat. You can reach out offline, and I'm happy to recommend some that I know.
Great.
I have one more quick question. Bobbi, do you help families where the person going into the home already financially qualifies for Medicaid, but the application process is daunting? Do you help families with that as well?
I do, yes. We have a whole, kind of menu of services where you can pick and choose what you need help with. The Medicaid application process is not for the weak of heart. It is very complicated. People mess it up all the time. And if you mess it up, you get a denial and you're back to square one. Get help with it. It's super difficult to get Medicaid. It's not easy, and on purpose, it's not easy because, they really have limited resources.
Yeah.
So only the people who, do it the right way end up getting the benefits. So yeah,
And if
get
you
some
miss
help.
out on 1 month, you're out of pocket $9,000 perhaps.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one situation where everyone should be going to these experts because you just never know. And we're all aging out, right? We're all climbing that ladder of age. And these two young ladies, they're just amazing at what they do, and they're totally qualified. Well, our program is coming to a close, but I want to remind you, you are more than welcome to reach out to Bobbi or Samantha. They are happy to take your call, give you a short consult, give you the ability to ask some questions. And with that being said, I just want to let you know that we're here. Samantha, are we going to continue the rest of the year with the programs?
We will have, at this point, we're looking at September and October, and we're going to take a break in November and December.
Perfect. So just to let you know, we will be back here in September, the third Friday from 12 to 12:30. We always have different conversations. We have wonderful guest speakers from time to time. Bobbi's our superstar. So please keep a lookout for our emails. Let us know anything that you need, and always can visit Samantha Fitzgerald at her website as well as Bobbi. And we are just happy that you are here with us. Please visit our website at Samantha Fitzgerald for about 2 years worth of unbelievable programs with unbelievable information. I'm Bianca Moreras. I want to thank you all for coming. Samantha, did you want to close?
I just want to say thank you, everybody, for coming. I hope you learned something, and have an awesome weekend.